So instead of it just being static and laying there on the page, you can actually interact with it, but that interaction is just graying out the background and then popping the image itself. There's a couple of ways that you can interact with this. One is to, if you want all images to have these lightbox features, you can have that in your YAML. Let's put a picture in there. Let's do lightbox true. Let's see what happens. I think that's intended to be a first level YAML command, so it not indented. Okay, well now I'm getting my cursor looks different, so yeah, it actually does. It does pop. And maybe we'll put in a graph as well and see what happens to the graphs when we do this. We'll just use cars. We need to do like, it looks like it's working fine. Should we try some of these other effects that we have? It looks like we're going to want to get rid of true and then hard return down and tab over. If we're going to get more elaborate, we need match. Match colon auto, like a automobile. So the three options, Diego, if you want to try playing with them, and we can see it's fade, zoom, and none. I don't know what none is.
None.
So that's none.
Yeah, now let's try fade. Oh yeah.
It's still black, I guess, but the transition fade and then zoom is the other one. Like
fade goes from gray to color, I think, but it's very subtle.
It is subtle, isn't it? I don't think I'd play with that one too much. Gallery is we'll be able to look at a bunch of them together and kind of page through there. So if you want to find some other pictures, maybe of Babe the Blue Ox, be careful with that one. It's group equals, and then in double quotes, I guess you just call it whatever you want to call it. So we can call it.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me
Paul. We can call it Paul. So that same tag, so that same curly bracket, do it after all of your images.
Okay, let's try this.
No, oh, it is on the right. No, what happens is you get that little arrow on the right or left, and then you can scroll through them. Let's maybe see if we can just apply that same concept to a couple of chunks with just figures in them. The chunk specification on that, Diego, I think there's a group specification, lightbox colon. They're doing a hard return right after lightbox, and then we call it whatever we want. So I'm seeing the G for group is directly under the G in lightbox. I have seen that happen before.
Oh look, now it works. Yeah, it was the spacing issue.
Again, you can see my cursor upon hover here on my desktop. You're getting that little indication that, oh, something's different or something's interactive or has the capability of interactivity here. And so if I click on that, that's the lightbox feature that's enabled for that particular image. If you're using that old markdown scripting syntax of exclamation point square bracket, and then in the normal parentheses, the image or URL to an image, you can actually just do a span. And so just dot lightbox. So if we just add this little curly bracket dot lightbox, then we get the image again having that feature. If you just add a group specification, so groups that share the same name, they'll be placed into a gallery. So if I click on either of these images, you'll now see those right hand and left hand arrows are enabled, both with the code chunk where we're using the command sequence here with lightbox true, as well as the span. I'm considering that to be kind of image by image. So as we go, so I decide that I want to use it on this image, or I decide that I want to use it on this graph or figure. I think that's probably the way to go, as opposed to, there's a second option which you can just turn on lightbox for your entire document. And so in the YAML, you can actually have a YAML specification that says lightbox true. If you're using a slide deck and want control over the placement of your images in terms of where they are rendered, probably just go image by image.